Hey guys, and welcome back to Voice Game Zoo 3, where today I am sharing the process behind the Sims that I've made for week 1 of this thing that I'm doing over on YouTube Shorts and TikTok, where every day I share one Sim until I reach 500 subs on YouTube, which I'm hoping to reach by the end of this month, but we shall see how that goes. So if you want to help out, then you can definitely subscribe. That will help me a lot. And also, I am doing my best, but I am behind by 4 days at this point, which isn't great, but I've been away from home for a few days and then I've been really busy with stuff, so I am behind a bit, but I'm hoping to be able to catch up this or next week, hopefully, ideally. But yeah, so for this first week that went by, the inspiration for all of these Sims were Five Nights at Freddy's, because not too long ago, roughly a month ago, I went to see the FNAF movie, which was awesome. It was a really nice experience, and yeah, I'll probably talk a bit about how that went, just share my opinions, which I did see the movie a month ago, so it's not all there anymore, but I do remember the gist and the rough feelings I had and all that whilst watching it, so I'll definitely be going over that a bit. But yeah, so for this first Sim, so day 1, our first Sim was Bonnie, or inspired by Bonnie, and I absolutely love him. I am so incredibly happy with how he turned out. I think he's absolutely adorable. I did my very best to sort of, at least in terms of color schemes and in terms of facial structures, I did my best to base all of these characters around the animatronics. So hopefully that turned out okay. And I also tried to sort of incorporate how I thought they would sort of looked and how I sort of imagined the children to have been before getting stuffed and all that. And I did also look into some of the ways in which they died, and that did have an impact on the characters. So for example, with Bonnie, I think the boy who got stuffed into him, his name was Jeremy, and on the internet it said something along the lines that he went out swinging, that he went out by doing his best to fight back against Afton. So I wanted to sort of base his character around fitness, being very much active, strong, that sort of thing. And I did one of the outfits that I had imagined. He had a active wear band thing around his head and very much tank top sort of cropped sort of thing, and sporty bottoms. But then I found this other top that was, I'm pretty sure it's streetwear, which is, and it's this dark blue vest and black shirt that's oversized and long and peeks out the bottom, and then these oversized jeans. And I thought that that calls back to what I was going for a lot better than what I had initially imagined. I did, I think, end up giving him 2 or 3 outfits in the end because I liked quite a few of them. But yeah, so for the main outfit, I did give him those, and then I gave him this mark on his face that's this blue cross, and then I also gave him scratches along his back sort of to indicate that fight, and I think I also gave him a few scars on his face. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet or not, but I am not going to be showing the full process behind making each of these Sims, because if I did that, the video would probably be an hour long, and we do not want that. We would much rather it be 20 to 30 minutes long, which is still very long, but a lot more manageable, you know? So yeah, I also gave him lightning bolt earrings, sort of to call back to the fact that he has his guitar. I made his, I'm pretty sure Bonnie initially was purple and then they made him blue, and so I did have, it was a lot easier for me to find clothing elements that were blue and that looks good, and same for the hair rather than purple. But I did want to call back to that purple, and so I gave him purple eyes. I'm really happy with how he turns out. I think he's absolutely adorable, and yeah, I think we're coming up to the point where we transition into just a little turnaround of him, and then we will be moving on to day 2, which was Chica. So in terms of Chica, I imagined the girl who got stuffed into, I'm pretty sure her name was Susie, and I imagined her as this really cute tiny black girl with huge puffy hair or ponytails or something like that, which I don't know whether that's what she's meant to look like, but that's sort of how I imagine her. And also I read on the internet that she got stabbed in the stomach or something like that, which is why I gave her those stretch marks to call back to that. I also wanted her to have a very messy appearance, and I wanted her to be slightly more on the thicker side because of how much she likes to eat, how she's, how much food she eats. She also eats garbage, which isn't great, but I think she was one of the, no, well, she wasn't really. Honestly, I did have a tiny bit of trouble with her, but nowhere near compare as much as compared to Freddy or Ballora, who we'll be getting to in a little bit. I think Freddy's next, but Ballora's like sixth, something like that. But yeah, I took a little short break, I think, of to like eat something or whatnot, and then when I came back, I just straight away like knew exactly what I was going for, and she turned out really nice. I'm really happy with what she turns out. I gave her like this nice vest, not vest, no, like tank. Not really sure what you call it. I think it's sort of like a knitted tank vest sort of shirt. And then this like green, slightly green at the top, going into yellow short skirt. And then like thigh highs, I think they're called, like socks that were yellow. I did want the main color for her to be yellow because Chica is yellow, like Bonnie is blue/purple, and all of these characters do have their color, and I definitely did want to have that in their designs and like highlighting that very much. So I also gave her yellow eyes, which I did my best to find what all of the animatronics eye colors were and to like reflect that in the characters. I might be slightly off on some of them. I'm not sure because I might have used like the wrong reference photos, but I think they're okay. I think I did a pretty decent job. I've also really recently been really liking this like full body blush. Can't remember who it's by, but I'll have a link to the description. I think it looks really nice on all of my characters, so I've been giving that to all of them, and I think that it sort of also imitates the like blush that the characters have, because I'm pretty sure. Oh nope, never mind. Ballora definitely has like round, I think purple or reddish like circles on her face, and Mangle does too, but the rest don't. I still thought that it looked pretty decent and like cute, so I gave her those socks, and then also I gave her this accessory over the top jacket that was of course yellow, and also I gave her these like I'm not sure whether they're ripped or whether that's just like the design, but like these tights that I initially thought maybe to have them also be in yellow, but then I changed it to black. But the main reason I went for those was because I remember, I think one of the more recent games, she was shown with a bunch of like sticky, gooey, like disgusting cheese all over herself, and it sort of looked like that, or at least I remember it looking like that, and so I thought that would be a nice tie back to that sort of cheese and like how much she likes to eat and all of that. So yeah, so that's Chica, and then I'm pretty sure that the next character that we're going to be doing is Freddy, who out of all of these characters I most definitely did struggle with the most. In my head, I'm pretty sure I imagined like this a bit nerdy, like this little kid who was like a bit nerdy, had like big glasses, but also sort of was like the leader of the pack, because that's who Freddy is. I mean, he's sort of the leader of the pack, I guess, but yeah. I'm not sure I want to go for nerdy, but I could not get him to look like I wanted him to. I did not know. Pretty sure the kid's name was George, and that he was like trying to hide, which I also want to sort of incorporate into this, but I did not know what was going on. I had no idea what I was trying to do. So I think he turned out okay in the sense that the sim looks like an average, well, maybe not average, but like a normal guy, and he looks fine. But I just don't think I ended up being able to capture that like Freddy-ness and like likeness in him, which was a shame. But yeah, so I guess I might as well use this time to finally go over what I thought about the FNAF movie, which was that it was awesome because it was very much like nostalgic, very much like highlighting some of the best elements of the games and all that, but it also was a movie, and I honestly probably just not someone who enjoys movies that much. The main reason why I did, because like let me be clear, I really did enjoy the movie. Like I'm not saying it was a bad movie or anything like that. It definitely did know its like audience and who it was trying to target, and including the YouTubers who people know about and like enjoy within the FNAF fan base. Was probably a pretty good idea. I thought it was awesome seeing MatPat. I don't know who Corey is, and it was a bit of a shame that Markiplier wasn't the guard who ended up dying, because they did think about having him do that, but he wasn't able to because he worked on his own movie. But yeah, it was great seeing MatPat there. Him saying like him being called Ness, calling back to the Sansa's Nest thing, and like talking about breakfast and like saying like it's a game theory and all that. That was awesome. I really enjoyed the opening sequence of the mini games and all that. That was awesome, and I thought it was neat to like have the Dream Theory book included in there, and and I thought it was great. However, as a movie, as I said, I am not someone who enjoys movies that much, mainly because I think that a movie just is not enough time in most cases to be able to explore characters, themes, and all that in enough depth to where you can have like a good movie. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to really say apart from that. I think that this movie was a classic example of that, because I don't think there was enough time spent like going over the Michael, his sister, Vanessa, any of that. I don't think there was enough time exploring their characters, learning about them and all that. And I think that there were just too many things happening at the same time within quite a short time scale. And I think that honestly, if it has been a series of, or even just broken up to having been like a limited series that only had like 3 to 5 parts, that would have been awesome. I think that if it had been that, it would have been perfect, because there would have been enough time to explore each section. There would have been enough time to explore what happened in Michael's childhood, enough time to explore his relationship with his sister and his aunt, instead of having her, I guess, randomly just killed off, which was a bit weird. And then having like Freddy, was it Golden Freddy who showed up? I don't know. That was a bit confusing to me. Then like having all of these like different sections explored, and then finally cultivating in like very much a darkened scene where Glitch Trap is Glitch Trap? No, Glitch. What? Why did I say Glitch Trap? Where Michael Afton is turned into Springtrap, in this like sort of like dark scene, would have been a lot better. But I do think it was great, and I am probably one of the very few people who is grateful that it was not more graphic. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on the movie. To reiterate, I am incredibly happy that it was created, and I thought that was awesome, because it was awesome being able to see this like franchise I mean, I have essentially grown up with this. I grew up with FNAF, with like Markiplier, with Game Theory, MatPat. So just being able to see this like movie come to fruition was like awesome. But you know, so yeah. So moving on to our fourth character, which I don't actually know who this is. Nope. I do, it's Foxy. Yeah, Foxy, otherwise known as one of my favourite characters, was our character for day 4. And now days 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so for days 4, 5, 6, and 7, I did not do individual shorts. I combined 4 and 5 together, and then I combined 6 and 7, because I just did not have enough time, and I needed to get these sims out. So yeah, days 4 and 5 were Foxy, who we are doing right now, as well as Puppet, who will be the next sim we do. So Foxy was definitely my favourite growing up. Not sure if I'd say he's still currently my favourite, because Roxy is absolutely awesome, Mangle's adorable, and also Eclipse and them two are great. But I do still love Foxy. He's awesome. And so of course I did know that Red or like Ginger was very much going to be involved here. I hope I didn't go a tiny bit too overboard with that, because looking back at him and like when I was making this short, it did seem like he was just had a touch too much red going on there, but hopefully it's okay. I also did use blue to sort of contrast that, but I think that I did give him an eye patch and made it blue, and I think that maybe if I'd made it black it would have worked a touch better, because I think that red and blue just complement each other too much. But yeah, there were a few other tops that I liked, but I didn't necessarily want to use them because I knew that they would work well for Puppet. But yeah, I am really happy with how he ended up turning out. I think that the blue, red, and white jumper and the dark red pants look great with him. I do really like the hair I gave him. I did have to use this color overlay, hair color overlay by Josh Shio, instead of choosing red hair color, because none of the colors by EA looked even halfway decent as red. So I did have to go for that, and I did use that. I'm pretty sure anyway. Did I do that, or am I talking crap right now? Wait, let me check. Oh no, I was talking crap. Yep, nope. Sorry. Oh, so not complete crap. So I was wrong in terms of having used the hair color overlay by Joshio. I used that for Bonnie, Ballora, and possibly Mangle. But for Foxy, I didn't need to do that because Simundi, I used hair by Simundi, and that hair came with like a bunch of other colored swatches, which was amazing because yes, hair color swatches looked crap, but Simundi's hair color swatches looked actually really nice. So I just was able to use that instead of the hair color overlay, which makes things a little bit easier because sometimes it like does bleed a little bit. I know that for Ballora, for Ballora, it sort of bleeds into the cheeks a little bit. It's not anything too like not noticeable or anything like that, but I know that is there. But yeah, so I did include like because the pants for Foxy have these like chains on them, and so I did want to reflect that by giving him like a nice chain necklace, and then like hooped earrings, like tiny hooped earrings, and then all of that is grey, and so or like metallic, like silvery grey sort of thing, which also works with the eye patch because the like little studs in there I'm pretty sure are grey as well. So it all works, and I'm really happy with how he turned out. I also gave him like a few rings and stuff, but yeah. So moving on to our next sim, who was Puppet, and I would have preferred if her top had been black and white, but I didn't really have any good black and white like striped tops available to me. So instead I went for black and purple, from which like the black and purple sort of top from like the Grunge Revival pack, which in case you guys wanted to get a free version of that, I know I have it reblogged somewhere on my Tumblr, so you can go check that out and find it over there in case you wanted to get the kit but didn't want to pay EA for it. But yeah, I'm very much happy with how Puppet came out. I like the way I imagined her was I did think about giving her a mask, but again I didn't really have any masks that worked with what I was thinking of doing, so I didn't give her that. But I did want her to be rather pale, to have like long straight black hair, and then like clothes that very much were tight, like skin tight. Hopefully I'm making sense. I feel like you can from like what you can see and all that, you can probably figure out what I'm trying to say. But yeah, and I think that I achieved that, and I am quite happy with that. I think that the top and bottoms work pretty well, and oh yeah, I also gave her I didn't really want to give her tears because I thought that would be a bit too much, but I did give her these like two blue sort of tattooed lines that go down from her eyes a little bit. I do wish they were longer, but I did want to give her that to call back to the fact that Puppet does have those like two streaks going down their face. So yeah, and I think that I may have also given her like slightly red-ish eyeshadow, maybe, not sure. I'm looking at the footage now and I think I might have, but again, not 100% sure. So yeah, so that was Puppet, and then the next sim we worked on were Ballora and Mangle. So Mangle ended up taking quite a bit less time than Ballora because they were very much simple, and I will talk about that once we get to them. But right now we are going over Ballora, who took a little bit more effort. I think that honestly this design was the hardest for me, apart from Freddy, because whilst I did have an idea of what I was going for, like none of the CC I had really worked with that. None of like all the skirts I have, all of them basically are very much rely on the body shape instead of having their own shape, which is sort of disappointing because I really wish that they could stand on their own instead of being so aligned with the body. Because like even the poofy ones, all of them you can see the shape, like if the hips and like thighs are slightly different shapes, you can easily see that. So I couldn't really have that didn't really work out for me. So I found this like dress that had this golden, I think, cups on the chest, and then was I think purple or blue maybe, that I did quite like, but I just it really wasn't giving Ballora to me, and I wanted her to sort of have this like matronly motherly thing to her because that's how I view her. But the things that I had accessible to me just that was just not working out, to be honest. So instead of really worrying about that, I just did my best to make her a really nice looking sim. It was really pretty because I think that Ballora as a character is very much elegant, very much pretty, beautiful and all that. But then later on I was like, okay, so I haven't really been able to make any of these dresses or skirts or tops or anything like that work with the design of her. So maybe I would just go back to the basics. And Balora's animatronic design basically is just a tall ballerina in short. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I can just sort of find a ballerina outfit instead of trying to figure this out piece by piece. And so I did. I found this really nice tutu, or I think that's what it's called, like the whole outfit, not just the skirt. I think the skirt is called a tutu, so I'm not sure what the whole dress is called. So yeah, I found this really nice ballerina dress. I think it works well enough. I think that it was the clearest way to tie back to this being Ballora, in fact, and not someone else. So yeah, I gave her purple hair and this like really nice, I think, golden crown. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say. Ballora is definitely not one of my favorite characters, but I do think that she has a pretty nice character design. Oh yeah, I gave her this hair that I quite liked. So like, I definitely did use just sheer hair color overlay for her. And I used this hair that was really pretty. It has sort of an undercut at the back, and most of the hair is pulled back into like a really short ponytail, but then at the front it has this like really nice swirl, and I think that it's really pretty, and I just want to highlight that. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I have really a lot left to say about her. So let's move on to Mangle. I am so happy with how Mangle came out. So whilst Foxy may have been one of my favorite characters, so was Mangle. But out of all of these Sims, Mangle and Bonnie are definitely my favorites. It definitely turns out like I am in love with both of them. I think they both are absolutely adorable, and like definitely the vision is there. I personally, to me, they definitely read as the animatronics that they are, and I am just really happy with both of them. So yeah, in terms of Mangle's design, I think it was honestly pretty easy and quick and painless for me, because I knew going in that like Mangle's design is very much like broken animatronic, sort of Foxy-esque, and they have a head or two that are white and pink, and then I think like one foot that is like white and pink. And so the idea I had for their design was to have a pale skin, and for the head to very much be like white and pink, and then also for the shoes to be large, chunky pink and white shoes, and the rest of the body to be grey, black, sort of that, to very much tie back to endoskeleton with like a mask or helmet or head and like a foot. And I am just so happy with how they turned out, because like their hair is like so adorable, and like those two little ponytails that are just like, oh my god. I'm really happy with the makeup and all that. I did use that full body shade, full body blush on them, which I thought looked perfect, and like very much tied back to the like circle, like I think it's like pink circles that they have on their cheeks. And then I also gave them a blushed red nose and like loud reddish pink lips. And yeah, and then in terms of the outfit, I gave them, pretty sure it was like tighter black jeans or pants, and then like this really nice, I think I ended up going with the blue iteration instead of the black and gold, or maybe it was the black and gold, one of those two iterations. So it was the same shirt, just like it had two swatches I was going between. But yes, I went for that shirt at one of those two swatches, and I just love it. And I ended up naming Mangle Mangle Leave It, because I needed to save the bases at one point and then be able to go back to working on them, and it auto generated Brook Leave It, and I wanted all my characters to have like the animatronic name in their name, and I thought that Leave It was sort of a smart surname, because in one theory Mangle has the soul of a dog within them, and so I named them Mangle Leave It, because something that you may often say to like a cat or a dog is leave it. So I just thought that was sort of smart, and yeah, I love them. I literally absolutely adorable. Probably them, well, not probably, it's like 100% between them and Bonnie in terms of favorite character. So I'm just gonna say both of them. I love both of them. I think they're both absolutely adorable, and I'm just so incredibly happy with how they turned out. So yeah, I think right now we're coming up to the end of the video. I'll probably include like a group photo or two of all of these characters from week 1 of this like mini thing I'm doing, and then all of these Sims will be up for free to be downloaded. You can find that over on my Patreon. And I'm not 100% sure if we're going to go for this, but I'm thinking that the Sims for this upcoming week, we are going to be having them based on some of my favorite music and some of my favorite songs. So yeah, if you'd like to stick around and like check those out and check out some of my other videos and all that, then definitely do. I very much shocked by how much people seem to enjoy like my Palia video. It is the second most popular video on my channel, and I'm like, how? Incredibly grateful. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting me, for supporting this channel. channel and all that. I'm incredibly grateful, so thank you so much. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, which will probably be at the end of the week, hopefully on Friday. So thanks for watching. Okay, bye.